They look like regular ads, right? Until you pause and look closer. Symbols linked to cults, strange gestures, satanic subliminal messages, and more creepy stuff.
Are they calling it racist? Some are actually calling it the most racist commercial ever. Critics say it portrays racial stereotypes and also makes light of violence toward women.
These aren't coincidences, but cursed commercials that aired on TV. Let's begin.
I know a place that's peaceful and quiet, a place where animals play.
1973's Smokey the Bear PSA started off soft and friendly. The woman was talking about forests and how we should protect them. Her tone was calm, but her expressions were still with unblinking eyes.
I know a place that's peaceful and quiet, a place where animals play. It's called a forest, but every year we start forest fires. A careless match or cigarette and poof, fire. So the next time you're in the forest, be extra careful, okay?
And there you go. The woman gave a creepy smile. And it's no longer a woman. It's Smokey the Bear. He looks straight at the camera and says, "If you knew it was me, would you have listened?"
Be extra careful, okay?
If you knew it was me, would you have listened?
It was believed not to be just a safety message. It felt like a hidden warning from something pretending to care. Sweetened sin.
Admit it, you still find me tempting.
Sometimes.
You're thinking about me now.
At first, it sounded like a funny way to stop addiction, but this Nicorette ad doesn't feel like just another product pitch. The voice is tempting, almost seductive. "You still want me," it says, like a demon teasing someone trying to quit a vice. It twists addiction into desire, and it laughs while doing it.
I'm thinking about Nicorette to stop smoking it.
Nicorette? But you want me.
Not anymore.
Don't put that in your mouth. Tastes horrible.
Ice mint Nicorette? It tastes great.
Great?
Great? Great?
With every bright flash and sugary word, it hides how it turns craving into a game. It's not just about breaking the addiction, it's about replacing one craving with another. Behind that smiling voice, something darker seems to speak.
This is not over.
Halloween Lady. Next is the commercial from fall 2010, right before Halloween. A woman approaches a shopper in a grocery aisle.
"Hello, Mrs. Jensen."
Her face was way too stretched, and her body was too tall. She said, "You don't have any Snickers in your cart. Let me help you."
"You don't have any Snickers in your shopping cart. The neighborhood kids love Snickers on Halloween. Let me help you."
Everything about her feels wrong. The voice, the expression, the way she moves like she's wearing a human costume that doesn't quite fit.
"I'm only helping."
The commercial ends with kids saying, "We're definitely going to her house." But why? For candy or for something else? People joked about it at first. Then the Snickers Lady became a full-on cult figure. Cosplays, fan art, even her costume sold for thousands.
Snickers.
We're definitely going to her house. Shh.
Happy Meal. This ad never made it to your screen, and maybe that's a good thing. It featured a McDonald's clown sitting at a table with a little girl. He handed her a Happy Meal box. Excited, she grabbed it and opened it. But the moment she looked inside, her expression changed. She didn't look thrilled. Without saying a word, she pushed the box back. That's when things took a darker turn. The clown's expression shifted. His smile disappeared. He slowly offered the meal to her again. This time, the girl didn't resist. Saddened, she laid her head on the table. The clown just sat there, silently staring at her, almost as if he was forcing her to accept whatever was inside that box. The screen faded to black, and a chilling message appeared. Learn the truth about Happy Meals. Was this ad simply a critique of McDonald's Happy Meal deals? Or is there something far more mysterious and possibly sinister that the company doesn't want you to know? The fact that this commercial was mysteriously removed only fuels the suspicion. Maybe they really are hiding something. Kinder's Nightmare. Next clip looked like a candy ad, but sounded like something out of a fever dream. The Kinder Surprise commercial was filled with strange, made-up words, robotic movements, and offbeat background music. Nothing made sense. Children with blank expressions chewed chocolate as the voiceover babbled nonsense.
Kinder, Yibbo Shaky, me unscrabbly. Chock-a-doobie! Doubly chock-a-doobie! Pops wobble! Toy! Yodel yum and choco scrum with multi-pop wobble dies! Oh, grubbly! Me scrubble now! Snuggle! Whee!
For a product made to bring joy, the ad only brought discomfort. This felt like it wasn't made for kids at all, but for something else entirely, like a message that was never meant to be understood. Laughing Curse. That old doll commercial from the 70s, Baby Laugh a Lot, was not just a toy ad. As the doll laughs uncontrollably, the sound gets unnerving. Almost like it's mocking the viewer. Her eyes remain wide open, frozen, almost hypnotic. Some believe the laugh was to cause discomfort, even possession, and background music played its role in it. The toy was discontinued without warning, but many who owned it said the doll kept laughing long after its batteries were gone. Do or obey.
Are they calling it racist? Some are actually calling it the most racist commercial ever. Critics say it portrays racial stereotypes and also makes light of violence toward women. It was all created by a black man who says the storyline is so bizarre it was never meant to be taken seriously.
The Mountain Dew ad seemed wild. A talking goat.
Your mouth shut.
Chaos in a diner, and a police lineup. But watch closer. The goat repeats, "Give me more," like a chant.
Give me more, I want.
The waitress on crutches looks traumatized. Viewers claim it felt more like an initiation scene than a commercial. The way the goat intimidates the woman has led to talk of dark symbolism.
It's easy. Just point to him.
You better not snitch on a player.
No. He's wearing the do-rag.
Snitches get stitches, fool.
Mind control and hidden power. Pepsi pulled the ad. But some say it was never meant for the public, just for those who understood the message.
Snitches get stitches.
Logo truth. Some viewers believe the Fox News logo hides a number tied to something more sinister. They claim it contains a hidden 666, often linked with negative symbolism. The theory goes like this. Every letter has a numerical value in the Greek system. F equals 6, O equals 60, and X equals 600. Add them together and you get 666. Since the logo highlights these three letters in bold alignment, theorists suggest it's a deliberate visual design. Fox News never addressed these claims, but the idea spread across internet forums and YouTube breakdowns. While it could just be a coincidence, many believe logos are designed with layers of meaning, and this one might say more than just the name of a network. Triple Brewery logo. Triple Brewery's logo looks minimal at first. 3 bold letters, F, F, and F. But some sharp-eyed viewers pointed out that in the alphanumeric system, F holds the 6th place. So FF could silently represent 666. That number has long been tied to dark or hidden meanings in popular culture. Though the brand says FF stands for family, friends, and fun, online users started linking it to symbolic messages, claiming the simple design may have a second layer. Some even say this subtle numbering connects the beer to larger ideas about branding, influence, and coded messaging. The company hasn't responded to these theories, but for many viewers, it's now impossible to unsee what they once overlooked in the logo's clean design. Darker pattern. Most people see Oreos as a fun snack, but some internet users believe their cookie design tells a different story. The classic Oreo has a pattern of crosses within circles, with a central emblem that closely resembles the Knights Templar cross, a symbol some connect to old secret societies. Around it are 12 dots and a strange spiked wheel, which conspiracy followers claim resembles occult imagery. The theory suggests that the cookie design holds a quiet link to dark symbolism or even satanic references. Oreo has never explained the exact inspiration behind the embossing, calling it a classic design. Colonel's Secret Message.
Did you like it?
I got one too!
KFC's Christmas ad started like any normal commercial. A happy family sitting in the lounge, talking about chicken buckets, smiling, and calling it the best Christmas ever. The man even said, "The Colonel didn't leave us."
This is the best Christmas ever.
And honey, the Colonel didn't leave us out.
It all looked sweet and cheerful, but then, right at the end of the ad, a voice heard, "Well, I don't know who to jack off to."
Well. Now I don't know who to jack off to.
That voice made everyone stop. It was clear, loud, and completely out of place. The ad aired once, and then it was gone, removed from everywhere, but people still talk about it.
Now I don't know who to jack off to.
Mind-bending ad.
Let me tell you what bugs me about human endeavour. I've never been the human in question. Have you? Mankind went to the moon. I don't even know where Grimsby is.
Sony's early PlayStation ad didn't feel like a game commercial at all. No console, no controller, no gameplay. Just a pale girl with tightly braided hair staring straight into the camera. Her eyes didn't blink, and her voice was robotic.
Let me tell you what bugs me about human endeavour.
She spoke about human evolution, landing on the moon, and how real experience now happens in here, as she pointed to her head. The ad ended with 2 words, mental wealth, but something felt off. The message didn't invite players. It hinted at control, at mind influence, and it aired like that, fully approved. Claim that screamed. A car was moving slowly through a green valley. The road was empty. Gentle music played in the background. Everything felt calm, almost like a nature video or a sleep aid commercial. There was nothing strange in sight. Then, something slammed into the screen. It was a twisted, ghost-like face, screaming loudly. People sat frozen. Some felt sick. The ad aired once, and then came the complaints, but the damage was already done. Protesting content. The Pepsi ad from 2017 featured Kendall Jenner stepping away from a photo shoot and joining a protest happening in the street. The crowd was full of smiling, stylish young people holding vague signs like, "Join the conversation." Toward the end, Kendall walks up to a police officer, hands him a can of Pepsi. The officer smiles. The crowd cheers. But for many people watching, it didn't feel like a message of peace. It felt like a company turning real protests, where people were raising serious concerns, into a backdrop for a soda ad. It looked staged, and people on Twitter showed immense outrage over this ad, called it racism, poor promoting strategy, worst ad, and so on. Offbeat visual. Wrigley's 2003 ad for Excite Gum in the UK wasn't your usual breath-freshening pitch. It starts with a dazed man stumbling in, looking off balance. Then, out of nowhere, he throws up a barking dog. The idea was to get rid of that dog breath. It was supposed to be funny, but the visuals were too strange and gross for many viewers. Instead of feeling refreshed, people were confused and slightly disturbed. Gum ads are usually light and clean. This one, it took a weird turn and stuck in people's heads for all the wrong reasons. Transforming identity. A detergent ad aired in China that caught everyone off guard. It began like a typical commercial until a woman shoved a man into a washing machine and he came out looking completely different, as if transformed into someone else. People online were shocked. Some accused the brand of cultural insensitivity and whitewashing. It later came out that the idea wasn't original. It was copied from an old Italian ad. Tires and terror. It's not often you see a ghost in a tire commercial, but this Japanese ad comes with a warning right at the start. A man drives at night when suddenly a pale woman appears in the middle of the road. He drove back the car, tires screeching, and escaped, only to see her again. Standing still with a board in her hands, something written in Japanese. Her face never moves, and the screen fades to black. Nobody remembers the tire brand, but everyone remembers her. Gushers' face twist.
Introducing new Fruitomic Punch Gushers with a taste that's gonna drive you fruity. It's very, very different. And totally appealing. It's new Fruitomic Punch Gushers, the fruit snack bursting with juicy fruit punch in the middle. So fruity, they'll really turn your head.
Whoa, I'll say.
New Fruitomic Punch Gushers, the blast of fruit punch is gonna drive you totally fruity.
Man, I gotta split.
Mid-90s kids might remember this fruit snack ad, but not for its flavor. In the 1995 Gushers commercial, a group of teens bite into the candy and their heads instantly morph into giant fruits. The effects were meant to be funny, but something about the transformation felt off. Wide eyes bulging from fruit-shaped heads and strange background music made it feel more like a warning than a treat. The fruit snacks were supposed to come with flavor, but the faces left a memory that didn't fade. GrubHub Bizarre Energy. The GrubHub advertisement seemed normal. Bright colors, dancing characters, catchy music. But the animation felt off, too smooth, too fake. Faces stretched into strange smiles, movements exaggerated beyond natural. Some viewers started pointing out odd symbolism, like hypnotic spirals and puppet-like control. It didn't feel like a food delivery commercial. It felt like something watching you through the screen. The internet turned it into a meme, but the discomfort never faded. And the more you watch it, the more you feel like you're not the one in control. Strange smile. Upcoming commercial starts with playful, fun music, smiling cookies. But look closely, and something feels weird. The cookies talk, they dance, and they stare right at you. One ad ends with a cookie literally getting eaten mid-sentence. Another has robotic movements and unsettling jokes. Viewers say it's not funny awkward, it's why do I feel uncomfortable awkward? And behind the laughs, some feel like there's a message hidden under the glaze. It's just a cookie ad, sure, but the feeling it leaves behind isn't sweet. Hidden tone.
It may seem intimidating, but really, it's one of the easiest things you can ever do.
I've been practicing.
Good. You're gonna need it.
On the surface, this ad from Big Brothers Big Sisters looks uplifting, encouraging people to mentor kids. But the way it's filmed, the line delivery, and the choice of music felt strange to many. The most criticized part? A black adult talking to a young black boy, framed in a way that felt outdated and uncomfortable. The ad was eventually pulled and led to backlash. It wasn't just about what was shown, it was about what it implied. Good intentions or not, the delivery sent the wrong message.
Help America's youth. Be a friend, be a mentor. Just be there.
Flash frame. During an episode of Iron Chef America, a viewer noticed something odd. A single frame of a McDonald's ad flashed on screen, so fast you'd miss it without pausing. It wasn't part of the regular commercial break. It just appeared mid-show.
Okay, so we're sitting here watching Iron Chef America. I noticed the screen blink red, so because I'm recording this, I'm going through slow motion forward, frame by frame. This is at the end of Iron Chef America, so here we go. We're getting closer. And look at this, a McDonald's ad right in the middle for just one frame.
Some called it a glitch. Others talked about subliminal messaging. The logo was bold, bright, and unmissable if you were watching frame by frame. Viewers started checking other shows. Nothing confirmed. But that single image left people wondering, was it a mistake or was it planted? Monopoly scandal.
It's the Monopoly game, only at McDonald's. With over 50 million prizes, it's supersized excitement.
This looked like harmless fun. Buy a meal, collect pieces, win prizes. But behind McDonald's Monopoly game was a major scheme. One man secretly controlled the winning pieces, handing out cars, cash, and vacations to his friends and family. For years, no one noticed. Millions kept playing, believing they had a chance. McDonald's ran the ads, handed out the pieces, and the scam continued. When the truth came out, it wasn't just embarrassing. It showed how a global brand had been tricked from the inside, while customers never stood a real chance at winning. Quiet message. An ad that seemed innocent on the surface, featuring a young girl, a balloon, and a kind stranger, left viewers deeply uncomfortable. The scene showed a black man helping a little white girl retrieve her balloon stuck on a pole. As he handed it back, the girl's mother arrived. Instead of thanking him, she ignored the man, refused the balloon, and walked away. The final frame showed the man at home, placing the balloon with others just like it. It wasn't explained, but the image spoke volumes. Many saw it as a comment on racial bias, suggesting that no matter how kind or helpful someone is, their efforts might still be dismissed based on appearance. The ad led to online debates about silent racism hidden in everyday moments. Burgers and symbols. Burger King's 2009 ad campaign wasn't subtle. It showed a woman with a shocked expression, mouth wide open, right in front of a 7-inch burger. The caption was, "It'll blow your mind away." It was loud, suggestive, and didn't match the product at all. The burger had nothing to do with the visual they used, and yet the ad ran publicly. Many felt it crossed a line, not because of the burger, but because of how they used the woman just to sell it. A fast food ad shouldn't leave you feeling awkward, but somehow, this one did. Bush campaign message. During the 2000 U.S. presidential election, a Bush campaign commercial stirred controversy for something most viewers wouldn't even notice. A single frame in the ad showed the word rats, right as the voiceover criticized Gore's healthcare plan.
The Gore prescription plan, bureaucrats decide. The Bush prescription plan, seniors choose.
It was quick, barely visible unless slowed down, but clear enough that media outlets caught on. Critics believed it was a subliminal jab to link Gore with something unpleasant. The Bush campaign claimed it was unintentional and blamed the word's appearance on the phrase bureaucrats deciding. Still, the timing raised eyebrows. The ad ran on major networks before it was pulled, but it revived old concerns about subliminal messaging in politics, where a split-second word might quietly influence how people feel about a candidate. Doritos Commercial. Another Doritos 2023 Super Bowl ad had a lot of flavor, music, humor, and strange visuals, but one moment had viewers pausing. A character entered a triangle-shaped doorway, and above it was a glowing eye symbol, eerily similar to the well-known Illuminati image. The colors shifted, the crowd moved in sync, and the commercial ended with a bold flash of a triangle in the background. To some, it was just a fun visual, but it could be a hint towards secret societies often referenced in pop culture. Doritos didn't comment on the symbolism, but the triangle has long been part of their branding. The ad left many people thinking the snack's real flavor came with a dash of mystery.
It's just not right. Nah, I need to try something new.
Unsettling commercial. Back in 1988, Channel 10 in Manila aired a commercial that never ran again. and people still talk about it. It showed a woman standing alone in a dimly lit room, holding something unclear in her hands. The screen flickered oddly, and viewers reported hearing strange whispers behind the voiceover. Some said the woman's eyes didn't blink the entire time, while others swore the object in her hands was moving slightly on its own. Rumors spread that after the broadcast, several viewers reported feeling uneasy or sick. The station pulled the ad without explanation, and no official footage has surfaced since. What was being advertised remains unknown. For many, it wasn't just a commercial. It felt like something that never should have aired at all. Bananas are for monkeys. It begins with a warning. Humans, you must stop. You must stop now.
Humans, you must stop. You must stop now.
Then we see it. A ghostly woman in white, long black hair covering her face, creeping out of the darkness. And then she gave a message about monkey food.
Bananas are for monkeys. Stop eating the monkey's food. Stop eating the banana after working out.
Yes, this terrifying scene aired as a real 2008 ad by Gainax, parodying the Japanese horror film Ringu. But the deeper you look, the stranger it feels. They delivered a fitness message through a spirit's warning and used the cursed tape-like visuals. But why? It wasn't just horror for laughs. It felt like a disguised message of a ritual or a curse. And after watching it, no one really craved protein. They just wanted the lights on and the TV off. Norton Furniture. The ad was aired late at night in Cleveland. It was a shaky commercial made by a man named Mark with a gray beard. He says, "If you can't get credit in my store, you can't get credit anywhere."
If you can't get credit in my store, you can't get credit anywhere.
This line does not feel like a sales pitch. Mark Brown made 67 of these strange ads, always in the same tone. It felt like the ad was meant to hypnotize. People started visiting his store just to see if he was real. And he was. And he kept a wall of 67,000 photos to prove it. Norton Furniture wasn't just a store. It looked like a doorway. And he was just the gatekeeper, waiting for you to say yes. Snacker commercial. KFC once aired a quirky commercial about its 99-cent snacker sandwich. It featured two guys joking about finding $1 on a couch and using it for food. Nothing unusual, until someone slowed it down and noticed something strange. For a few frames, a tiny dollar bill showed an image of a US president. Some claimed it was digitally altered. It looked like an oddly timed flash, and the word KFC popping up in quick succession, raising talk about subliminal advertising. KFC never responded to these claims, and the commercial stayed on air. But it did get people looking at fast food ads differently, wondering how much effort goes into making sure they grab your attention, even when you don't notice it directly. Never say no. This is just cheese, right? But in 2010, a strange ad campaign in Egypt flipped that idea upside down. It showed people refusing Panda Cheese, and then facing something they couldn't explain. A giant panda appears. Then it knocks things over, breaks stuff, and causes chaos without ever speaking a word. Turns out, the creators originally wanted it way darker, but even the toned-down version felt off, like it was delivering a message. Some say the panda represents an unseen force, punishing those who say no. Because once you see it, you'll never forget, and you'll think twice before refusing. Hidden joke. In one Family Guy episode, Peter Griffin somehow ends up in Congress. While it's all played for laughs, there's one scene that hits differently. A TV flashes for just a second, barely enough time to see anything. But freeze the frame and you'll catch it. Obey. Consume. Vote for Carter. Just fast enough to bypass your awareness, yet slow enough to slip into your subconscious. That's the whole idea of subliminal messaging. Signals designed to influence thoughts without you even knowing it. In the show, it's a joke. But in real life, The fear is that corporations and media are using flashes like these to push decisions, shape opinions, or sell something without ever saying it out loud. Strange glow. Kris Jenner's home brand once introduced a line of luxury candles, and among them was one labeled Witch's Potion. While most people brushed it off as marketing, some viewers began linking these candles to real occult practices. The designs resembled traditional spell jars, and the scents were tied to elements like flame, moonlight, and transformation. The packaging carried odd symbols too, which some claimed looked like sigils. People online started referring to it as Kris Jenner's Magic Vault, suggesting the candles weren't just for fragrance, but part of a deeper fascination with spiritual rituals. No confirmation ever came from the Kardashian side, but the candles left behind more than a scent. They lit up conspiracy talk about fame, control, and hidden meanings behind modern luxury products. Mysterious advert. Next, this ad feels more like a short horror film than anything meant to sell a magazine. It starts off with a woman smiling and having a long, stretched neck. She was moving her neck away from her body unnaturally. Her head was moving on its own, floating through the room. There's no logo, no product, just that eerie scene. It turns out this was made for a men's magazine, but they never explained why. And honestly, after watching it, no one cared to ask. Balenciaga's disturbing campaign. In 2023, Balenciaga ran an ad that shocked nearly everyone who looked closely. At first glance, it showed kids holding teddy bears, but the bears wore leather harnesses and dark-themed accessories, outfits more linked to adult subcultures than toys. That led to immediate backlash.
I believe for the slightest thing that Balenciaga was not aware, they did not sign off on this, okay? You have two different photo shoots. You have children with bondage teddy bears. You have another case, as you pointed out, with the Supreme Court case on child and they're going to sit there and try to lie to us and tell us that somehow a portion of it was just oversight. I don't believe that.
But the deeper concerns came from the background. One photo showed court documents from a US. Another showed caution tape with misspelled words, including Baal, an ancient deity that sun worshippers believed in. These weren't random mistakes. Balenciaga apologized. Still, many believe it wasn't just an ad, it was a signal. Barcode secret. On Formula One cars, Marlboro logos disappeared due to advertising bans. But then came something curious, a barcode design that strangely resembled the Marlboro logo. It wasn't officially a cigarette ad, but it looked a lot like one. Some viewers claimed this was a sneaky way to keep the brand visible without breaking the rules. The shape, the color, the positioning, it all felt a little too perfect. Marlboro denied it was intentional. Still, many believe it was a quiet way of keeping their mark on the track without saying a single word. Dove's vanishing act. It only took 3 seconds. A woman lifts her shirt, and underneath there's a changed, smiling woman. And then she too changed into another woman, this time with other skin. Screenshots of just the first shift went viral. The ad led to outrage in viewers. People claimed the ad sent an insensitive message. But if you actually watched the whole thing, it told a different story. The ad showed women of different backgrounds, all changing into one another like a cycle. Yet the full picture was ignored, and the outrage made no sense at all. The brand apologized for this, and later this ad was removed from social media. Suspect or victim? Not everything is what it seems. An anxious woman was talking to her daughter when she saw creepy guys following her. The woman looked terrified and started running. But then the guys caught them, and for a moment, it felt like a kidnapping. But there was a cop in them, and that was the actual plot twist. The woman wasn't a victim at all. She was the one being hunted. She was handcuffed and taken away. It could be an awareness ad, but a warning too. From something deeper. No one knows who made it, but it aired once, then it disappeared. Frozen message. In snowy Sweden, McDonald's pulled off something strange. A giant ice cream cone was placed outdoors. Real snow slowly filled it up, and it had a cold message. It's never too cold for ice cream. But locals noticed something weird. No one saw who built it or cleaned it, yet it stayed perfect all season. Some claimed they saw footprints circling it at night. Others said the snow inside never melted, even on warmer days. People joked, calling it the ice cream shrine. But some took it seriously. They said it wasn't an ad, it was a symbol. If you craved sweetness even in the cold, you were one of them. Open discussion. Today's open discussion is about this commercial.
What brings you two into my office?
I looked up and my Jello pudding was gone.
At first look, the Jello pudding face ad feels playful. A school counselor questions two boys about a missing pudding. One accuses the other, and as Jeremy is asked to explain, he flashes a wide, almost unnatural grin.
I know he took it.
Jeremy, look at me.
The adult calls it a pudding face, then casually forgives him. But that smile? It lingers a little too long. The lighting shifts slightly, and Jeremy's face doesn't relax. Viewers online have pointed out how off the tone feels. Bright music layered over an oddly robotic exchange. Some even believe the ad was intentionally designed to feel eerie, using forced cheerfulness to cover something deeper.
Look at that smile. That is pudding face. You took my pudding.
The evidence is hard to dispute.
The commercial ends with, "Get your pudding face on," but many were left feeling more creeped out than convinced to buy dessert. I would love to hear your take on this ad, so do share your thoughts in the comments below.